Hello students, welcome once again to the YouTube channel of Shri Vashisht Vidyalaya. I hope all of you are keeping well. I bless all of you. Our today's topic is very much important. We are going to talk about a poem. We are going to learn a poem today, which is titled Keeping Quiet. Yes, this is the poem, the third poem in your syllabus, which is composed by a Chilean poet named Pablo Neruda. So, if we talk about the background of this poem, it was originally composed in the Spanish language, and later on it was translated into English. And Pablo Neruda, I would like to add a very special thing about him. He always wrote with green pen, he always wrote with green ink, which according to him was a symbol of hope for him. If we talk about this particular poem, which is titled Keeping Quiet, as the title suggests us, keeping quiet, we are going to mainly talk about what is the significance of keeping quiet, or what is the significance of being silent sometimes, and what is the significant. Okay, we are going to talk about two another important terms in this poem. Please remember these two terms. One is introspection, and the another important term is retrospection. We are going to talk about two important terms, introspection and retrospection. Simultaneously, we are going to learn about the world peace, the peace in the world, and brotherhood. Yes, the universal fraternity. Alright, so I would like to revise once again how many things we are going to talk in this poem. First, we are going to talk about peace, world peace. We are going to talk about introspection and retrospection. Okay, what does these two words mean? We will talk later about this. And thirdly, we are going to talk about brotherhood, the universal fraternity in this poem. This poem gives a complete account of how the humanity can tackle, or how the humanity can handle the issue of the chaos that has spread across the entire globe. Many often it happens that the entire earth finds itself into very critical situations where exit seems to be very much hard. We have a very recent and fresh example of the present days. We are suffering with coronavirus. The COVID-19 disease has spread across the world, and the entire world finds itself unable to come out of this. And there are many situations, if we go to see the history, there are many situations where world has suffered and world has experienced such kind of things. But the question is, when the world finds itself in such kind of problems, and when we see that the chaos has spread across the globe, how can we make an exit from that? And in such situations, how should we react? What is the solution, and what should we do? These are the things, how the universal peace and brotherhood can be established. These are the things that the poet has discussed and talked in this poem. This is a very intellectual poem, and I would like to please remember this sentence, learn this sentence very clearly. This poem is very silent as well as explosive at a same moment of time. Yes, this poem is silent as well as explosive at a very same moment of time. Now, how is it silent and how is it explosive? We are going to see into the detailed explanation of this poem. Let us proceed further with the detailed explanation of the poem. I'll start with the first stanza of the poem. Talking about the first stanza of the poem, I would like to add this poem does not have any rhyming scheme. Means this is a blank verse poem. If we talk about the first stanza, it says, the opening lines of the poem are, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let us not speak in any language. Let us stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. So you see, at the beginning of the poem, at the very onset of the poem, what does the poet requests us to do? He asks us to count till 12. Here when we count till 12, this word 12 may signify the 12 hours of the day, or it may signify the 12 months of the year, or it may signify the 12 zodiac signs, any of these. And the poet says to keep still. Not only to keep quiet, the poet says to keep still. Still means not to move. Just remain in the position as you are and wherever you are. That is what we mean by remaining still. So the poet says, he requests to all of the readers that all of us, let us count 12 and remain still. For once on the face of the earth, let us not speak in any language. The poet says that let us not speak in any language for once on the face of the earth. Let us all remain silent. We shall all not speak in any language. If you see in the depth, language across the world is a barrier which separates all the people of the world. Language is the barrier which separates an American from an Indian. It separates a Nepali from an Indian. It separates the people across the globe. So language is a barrier between the brotherhood, between the universal brotherhood and the peace. Right? So the poet asks us to remain quiet and not to speak anything. Just keep still. These are the opening line where the poet is creating a scene, where the poet is creating a kind of scenario, and he requests all of the readers to remain still and calm and not to speak anything and to count till 12. Indirectly or in short, the poem is asking us to introspect. Introspect, the word in Hindi, it means to Atma Darshan. The poet is asking us to introspect. The poet कहता है कि आप अपने अंदर झांक करके अपने खुद के दर्शन कीजिए. The poet says, he asks us to introspect ourselves. He asks us to get to know ourselves and think deeply about in what condition we are stuck and what we can do. So now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still for once on the face of the earth. Let's not speak in any language. Let us stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much, as I am moving my arms so much. The poet asks us to not to move our arms and not to move even a single inch. He asks us to remain still, to remain quiet, to remain calm and not to move. Poet requests all the readers. He is creating a scenario. He is requesting you and he is asking you to imagine such scenario. If all of the people across the world, everyone remains still, everyone remains silent, everyone is idle, statue at the place wherever they are. सब लोग वहीं रुक जाएं जहाँ पर वो हैं और कुछ ना बोलें, बिल्कुल चुपचाप खड़े रहें, अपने आर्म्स, अपने हाथ पैर कुछ ना हिलाएं और कोई लैंग्वेज ना बोलें, तो क्या होगा? The poet is requesting its reader to do such thing. This is a condition, this is a position of introspection. This is what we call introspection. Indirectly, the poet is asking us to introspect. Atmadarshan karne ki baat ho rahi hai, right? So in the first stanza, the poet asks us to count till 12 in our mind, which may represent the 12 hours of the day, or it may represent the 12 months of the year, or the 12 zodiac sign. He asks us to remain calm and still. And he says that people across the nations have to unite together. How will the people unite together? If they will not speak any language, if all of them will be in a very still and calm condition, means everyone is in a very same state, everyone is in a very same position. It means all of them are united. Now there is, if few Americans, few Britishers, few Indians, few Nepalis, few Bangladeshi, few Sri Lankans are standing together, if they are not speaking even a word, they are all still, they are all idle. No one can identify who belongs to where until and unless they do not go to the skin color of theirs, right? So the poet says he requests us to not to speak any language. This will bring unity among all the humans. When we are all silent, when we are not talking any language, when we are all still, when we are all idle, that is a uniformity. That is a uniformity, and it brings all of the people together. That is a unity. For at least one moment, no one shall move his arms for anything. We shall, for one moment, we shall not move our arms to signal, to argue, or to fight, or to do anything. Now you just imagine this scenario. Everyone is silent. Everyone is peaceful, calm, and idle. Everyone is standing like statues. And that uniformity is a unity in itself. Then we imagine the world peace, and then we see what introspection is. Then and there we experience the introspection, right? So that was the first stanza of the poem, which did not have any rhyming scheme. Now let us proceed further towards the second stanza of the poem. So let us see, what does the second stanza say? The second stanza says, it would be an exotic movement, without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hard hands. Here, if you see, the poet is talking about a sudden strangeness in the world. And how the world shall be strange? The world shall be strange because the poet, something that the poet is asking all of the readers to do, which is very strange. And this is going to happen for the very first time in the world. That is why it is strange. Isn't it strange when all of the people, the entire population of the world, remain idle, still, calm, peaceful, without speaking even a single word? Every person in the world, every human being in the world, whoever, wherever, is still, is calm, is peaceful, not doing anything, simply standing idle or sitting idle like a statue, not even moving his or her hands. Everywhere in the world, like all of the humans have turned into statues. Isn't it a strange situation? So the poet, the opening lines of second stanza are, it would be an exotic movement. The word exotic, वैसे तो it means, the word exotic means something which is from foreign or gringo. But here exotic means it will be very unique movement. Without rush, without engines. Means people will not be walking on the roads, people will not be hurrying here and there, the engines will not be. So without engines means the world will be quite peaceful. No activity will be happening, no activity will be in process. Everything will be peaceful and calm, everything will be stopped, right? No, without rush and without engines mean everything will be stopped, no activity is in process. We all would be together in a sudden strangeness. Means everyone will be together. How everyone will be together? When the entire world, the entire population is still. Entire population is idle. Entire population is not moving. No one is doing anything. No one is speaking anything. Everyone is silent. That means we are all into a uniformity. And when we are all into a uniformity, we are all united. We are all into a sudden strange unity, right? We are all together. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. These two are, this is a symbolic line. When we talk that fishermen in the far sea would not harm whales, means when we shall all stop talking, when we shall all stop moving, and when we shall all start introspecting ourselves, we shall reach to a conclusion, we shall learn that it is not right to kill other creatures and other animals or to harm others for our benefits or for our needs. It means this is a symbolic line which says that when everyone will be peaceful, calm, tranquil, idle, like statue, no creature would be harmed by the other creature for fulfillment of its needs. Right? So this is a symbolic line. It has a very deep significance when it says that. It has a deep significance, and it means that when we introspect ourselves, जब हम अपने खुद का आत्मदर्शन करते हैं, जब हम अपने आप को अंदर से देखते हैं, तो हम पाते हैं कि for a creature, for a human, or for any animal, it is not right to harm other animal or to kill other animal to fulfill his or her needs. And the last line is, the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Means when everyone will be tranquil, when everyone will be peaceful, calm, when everyone will be idle, then they will think of themselves, they will introspect themselves, which results into thinking for themselves. The person who had been working very hard, the person who had been taking lots of toil, the person who had been doing a lot, had been working very hard, lots of toil, and who has been taking lots of pain in fulfilling his or his beloved people's need, he will find time, he will see towards himself, and he will realize that what harm he was going to give to himself, what pain he was giving himself. So, conclusively, the second stanza says that when we all shall remain peaceful, when we all shall introspect ourselves, we will get to know that in order to fulfill ours as well as other people's need, we are harming other creatures, other people also. Also, we are harming ourselves. Also, we are being in pain. We are being in pain to ourselves. We are harming ourselves. We are giving pain to ourselves. That is the second stanza has to say. So for this video, I hope you all have understood well what I intended to say. We shall proceed further with the third, fourth and fifth stanza in the next video. By the time, all of you take care of yourself, and please feel free to contact all of your teachers if you find any doubt. Please keep visiting the website of the school time to time, and stay updated, stay tuned. Thank you.